So figuring out where our rod is going to go into the firewall upon this axis is pretty easy because we can mount our servo inside the firewall wherever we want laterally. So I'm just going to mount my servo in line with the throttle arm. To figure out where that is, we're going to look at the webbing here, find the center of the engine, place our ruler there, and we're going to find that this arm is right about 1.25 inches over from the center of the engine. Now the center line right here on the firewall, it's kind of blurred out now, but let's see if I can, it's a little hidden, but the center line that's marked on the firewall, we just need to be 1.5 inches over from that. So you can see our planned insertion point right here where we're going to drill the hole for the throttle rod. It's 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. This marks that 5/8 inch origin point of the throttle arm. So we're going to be 3/4 of an inch up because our arm's going to be about 7/8 of an inch up. So as it travels up, it's going to need to go up. And then we're just going to be 1.5 inches over from this center line, which is right here. So that's where we're going to drill our hole. Now on the inside, we need to figure out where we're going to place our servo. Inside the engine box, I measured over from where that rod is going to enter into the firewall. I took that measurement and created that measurement here. And then we already decided that we wanted this in our previous diagram to be 3 inches back from the firewall. So this is 3 inches back from the firewall and then the same distance over from where our entry hole is on the outside. So remember, this is not where the center of the servo is going to be, but where the center of the servo arm at neutral is going to be. So our servo arm, once the servo is installed at neutral, is going to sit just like this. So I've put that arm right on the dot and then marked center, and then that is going to be exactly the center of our servo tray. Last thing you have to consider though is that that's not the center of the servo tray in this direction because the gear is a little bit forward or backwards. So I'm going to end up mounting my servo right about here. Now remember, after doing all this math, as long as that hole has a little bit of extra room, you're going to be pretty close. You won't have to worry about being dead on, but if you wanted, you could do a few more measurements, make sure that this is exactly centered on your servo gear and all of that. But for all intents and purposes, this is going to be a pretty good location for our servo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this servo tray down. I'm going to use a Dremel to trace around that and cut out this area, and we'll end up dropping our servo right in there. The servo arm will be mounted, and then hopefully everything will line up perfectly. You're going to take the GT Power Portable Battery Charger from RedwingRC.com and your battery, hopefully a RedwingRC battery as well. This is one of our 3 cells.